Alright, let's work on her back, and I'm going to add a little bit of a value distinction here. Make it a little bit darker on this other side. This would be, even though it looks very thin and it's narrow, it would cover quite a distance as her back is turned away and it's in shadow, so we want to darken that side. And I'm going to pull from this darker mixture here that has some raw umber dark in it, add a little bit of titanium white and some Indian yellow. Let's zoom in here. And what we're going to do is just paint this way on her back using this small flat brush. Get this shape in here. And we're going to just dilute the edge out with a little bit of matte medium on the edge, just to soften that up a bit. And then we'll need to let that dry and get some additional glazes in there to smooth that out. But for now, let's move back to her forehead, and I want to see if I can get that highlight restored up there. Alright, so I'm going to mix into this area that I had from before. No, I tell you what, let's mix over here, this fresh area. Titanium white, Indian yellow, pyro red orange, and let's see what we have. It's got to have enough Indian yellow in it that it matches, and we need these chromatically intense colors to work. Okay, let's try this and see what we have. If the color is close enough, it should work pretty well. If it's too light, then it tends to look kind of chalky. But I do want it to be lighter in value. So we're just going to place this over that area. And then a little bit of pyro red orange and Indian yellow, just to blend that into the existing color a bit more. And we'll blend going with brush strokes in the opposite direction, and just a bit of raw sienna as well. That'll help it to be more opaque, and we'll just blend out of that into the forehead area. There we are. Alright, little by little we're getting that back. And I think also if I add some additional shadows right here, I can intensify that. And it does look like it needs it. So let's pull from this darker mixture down here. Titanium white, raw sienna, Indian yellow, pyro red orange, and a bit of, I think, alizarin crimson is what it had. And we're just going to darken this little area here above her eyebrow. And there's just the slightest little shadow there showing her skull, the form of her skull. So we want to get that in there. I'll add a bit of Indian yellow to this mix, which will give it somewhat more of a greenish tint. I'll place a glaze right here. And then I want to darken this left side a bit more. So let's take this darker color, add some raw umber dark, a little bit of ultramarine blue. I just had a bristle sticking out of my brush. That would make it hard to brush with. Okay, so we're going to use this glaze that is pretty opaque. And we're going to darken this left side of her forehead a bit. It needs just a little more titanium white. I'm going to wipe that off. Didn't like it. This is what it looks like on the white card. It's semi-opaque, maybe about 50%. I'm just going to, oh, that's too light. Okay, we're going to add a bit more of the darker mixture over here, draw from that side. Let's see what we have. It should be just a little bit darker than what we currently have. Fill that in. And just dab the edge a bit. Oh, and that really shouldn't come all the way to the bottom. There's a little bit of a divot that comes out from there. See if I can capture that using this lighter color. Let's see, something a little bit lighter. Just to capture that deviation right there. Just soften up this edge. See if I can soften up this little edge right here ever so slightly. Alright, we're getting it, but it's still going to need a little more work. I'll just let this dry, and we'll start another video. I'll see you there.